Ainsley has come to Bridgetown to meet historian Pedro Welsh.
Bridgetown is a port town.
Yeah.
And like all port towns, the most visible activity that you're going to see in Bridgetown is the presence of brothels and taverns. Sailors are traveling for 2 months on the sea, and when they land at the Bridgetown port, one of the first things they might want is certainly a woman. And the second thing is they want some rum and whiskey. Now, in the case of James, once he becomes a policeman, he is expected to try to control some of the activity.
So, enforce the law.
He's going to enforce the law.
Yeah, how was it all set up, though? Because it was so soon after the abolishment of slavery.
There was a force known as the Tongue Watch, which has been developed in Bridgetown during the period of slavery. But once it was clear that slavery was going to be abolished, the white establishment in Bridgetown began to have all kinds of fears. And one of the fears that they had was this black population that was enslaved is someday going to
rebel.
They're going to get what they want back. They're going to rebel. They're going to use a Barbadian term, they're going to mash things up.
Mash things up.
They're going to destroy things. So what the whites said almost within the first days of emancipation, in fact, even just before emancipation fully comes on stream, they're saying we need a police force. We need a guard because
we need protection.
We need protection. So come 1838, the Act is passed. And by 1839, a police force is established first in Bridgetown.
While the officers were white, the constables were recruited from the local black population. It would have been unlikely that former slaves would have been employed. So James's status as a free Negro, something he inherited from his mother Rachel, would have helped him win this prized and well-paid job.
Does that mean that you'd live in a nice area? For instance, my grandfather lived in Jessamy Lane.
Well,
Was that an affluent area at the time?
Well, yes, he might have had good housing. And in fact, we're going to go across that area just now. We're going to have a look up there and see where the place was. Your great-great-grandfather would have had property in this area. As you know, some 6 or more properties in this area. In fact, I've got the rate books here. And I've got a copy of the rate books. This one is the 1890s. If you look here, see his name here, and you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 properties. There are 9 properties he owns in Jessamy Lane. That's in the 1890s, right here, right in this street.
Policemen like James Hunte earned £45 a year, a relatively good income, but not enough to buy so much property.
In 1937, it's a historic period in Barbadian life.
The location of the houses James owned may give a clue as to how he got them.
Should also note that Jessamy Lane leads on to this other street called Nelson Street. Nelson Street is a red light district.
And still today it's the red light district?
Still today. It's a red light district in the late 19th century. It's a red light district in the early 20th century. Even now today, it is the red light district of Barbados. And many of the free-colored women who lived in Bridgetown would have frequented this area because this is where the opportunities lay. What I call the fleshly opportunities.
Fleshly opportunities,
oh, yes.
And of course just a way of making a living because...
yes. Yeah. And there were very few business opportunities open to them. Where prostitution represented for many free-colored women the only opportunity that was available. I want to say as delicately as I can. There's every possibility that his mother might have used that means
to get on in life.
Yes, and the property that he got, there's every possibility that the property he got, 9 properties.
9 properties in Jessamy Lane.
Oh, yes.
She then passed this on to her son, who was his policeman.
Oh, yes.
So the only way she'd have acquired money to get that amount of money would have been perhaps have a life of prostitution.
Yeah, that is one opportunity, one of the opportunities that many free black women had to accept.
Tell me another opportunity.
Oh, well, you could get into small-scale selling, vending of material. Some of them got money out of simply owning taverns, but the taverns were almost always brothels.
You're trying to be very polite, aren't you?
Well, I have to be very polite. I know how it is. But in all of our closets, there's going to be a skeleton somewhere.
And her son became a policeman.
Oh, yes. That's a paradox. Became a policeman, perhaps arresting prostitutes.
Wow.
But that's the way it is.
Wow. That's very interesting, isn't it? That is very, very
yes,
interesting.
And in getting those 9 properties, she's saying to the system, you wanted to kill me. You wanted to destroy my spirit. You wanted to make me property myself. You want to make me a non-person, but I'm somebody. Notwithstanding all you've done to me. Yes,
Not only am I somebody, I'm going to be remembered because this represents my hard work.
Yes.
This represents me being a free Negro.
Sacrifice is was embodied in that property.
Thank you.
Take our hats off. Take our hats off.
Thank you very much. Really.
Take our hats off.
Oh, man. All right.
Thank you. What I've discovered today has just been remarkable. You know, one moment I'm told that my great-great-grandfather was a policeman and my great-great-great-great-grandmother might have been a prostitute. But if you put it into context, you begin to realise that they had to survive. They found a way to survive. However ugly it might appear on the surface, the truth is something to be proud of there. There's something to be very, very proud of.